Exponents and order of operation. So now we're going to use exponents when we're dealing with simplifying an expression. So these are all expressions. There's no equal sign, so we're not solving anything. We're not trying to find what x equals. It's just a bunch of numbers that are being added, subtracted, multiplied, divided, or with exponents, and we just want to simplify it. And we're going to have to use a convention, which is Bedmas, meaning we're going to want to do brackets first. After brackets are done, then we can do exponents, division, and multiplication. And we do that from left to right. After all of our exponents are done and your division and multiplications are done, then we can go on to addition and subtraction. And we need to do that again as we move from left to right. So let's take a look at the first one. There are no brackets, but we do have e, which is exponents. So we need to go 5 to the power of 3, 5 to the power of 2, 5, and 5 to the 0. Well, 5, let's start over here. Start at the right-hand side. 5 to the 0, anything to the 0 is 1. Plus, there's a 5 there. Now, 5 squared is 25. And 5 cubed is 5 times 5 times 5. So 5 times 5 is 25. And if we did that again, so we times it by another 5, you'd get 5 times 5, which is 25. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. So we have 125. So if you need to pause it, you can. I'm about to erase this multiplication here. And now that we have exponents, we can then do any division or multiplication. There are none. And then any addition or subtraction, just moving left to right. So 125 plus 25 is 150. 150 plus 5 is 155. Plus 1 is 156. Now you could have done that in steps. You can go 125 plus 25 is 150, and then carry down the 5 and 1. 150 plus 5 is 155. Carry down the plus 1, and then 156. Or if you could do it all in your head like I did, then you could just get 156. Now, we have to do the exponent first. So let's write down what we have. 10 minus 6, because we can't do anything with that. Plus, we have to do the exponent. 4 squared is 16. Now let's move from left to right. 10 minus 6 is 4. And then we have the plus 16. And 4 plus 16 is 20. So you can see there, I did this part first. Then I moved from left to right, did that. And then I just have one more step, which is just adding. So let's look at the next one. Some of you guys might be thinking, oh, 5 times 2 is 10. We can't do that. We have to do exponents first. Now, there are brackets here, but there's nothing to do inside the brackets. If you look at F down here, there's something inside the brackets that we have to do first. But there's nothing here, so there's no B, meaning the very first step must be the E, the exponent. So I've got negative 5 times, there's a times here, 2 to the power of 3. That is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. And then negative 5 times 8 is negative 40. Moving on here, we've got 5. And then we've got negative 2 to the power of 3. And there's brackets in there. So we're going to need to do negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. I'm writing it out just so you can see. But negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2, there's 3 negatives. So that our answer will be negative. And there's 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. So you might have skipped this step, because you can go negative 2 cubed is going to be negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2, which is negative 8. And then 5 times negative 8 is negative 40. So keep that in mind. You don't actually have to do the step that I wrote out. Just like over here, I didn't write 2 times 2 times 2 out. I just wrote 8. Okay, let's keep going here. Here we've got some exponents again. No brackets. So 2 to the power of 4. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16. And you can't see it, but it's being timesed here. And then 3 squared is 9. So the answer is not 169. It's 16 times 9. Now, I actually don't know what that is, so I'm going to write that vertically. 6 times 9 is 9 times 6 is 54. 9 times 1, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it's 144. So there's no brackets, there's no adding, no subtracting. It's just exponents followed by a multiplication. Now F is very tricky. I'd put a star beside it, mostly because we find that lots of students will want to go 4 minus 2. But if you take a look at Bedmas, and you do subtraction, look where subtraction is. 4 minus 2, 4 subtract 2. That's at the very end. You should be doing that subtraction last. And yet it looks like, oh, we should just go 4 minus 2 and it should just be easy. But no, we want to start with B, our brackets. So let's do the bracket part first. That's going to be 5. So you have to write down everything else. So you're going to write down a 4 minus 2, and then we're going to make that a 5 squared. So that's good. That's us checking off the bracket part. Next, we have to do exponents. So that's right here. So write down everything else. 4 minus 2 times 5 squared is 25. Now there's no division, so I'll check that off. There is some multiplication, so let's do that next. I need to do the multiplication. So 4 minus 2 times 25 is 50. There is no addition, but I can move right on to subtraction. 4 minus 50 is negative 46. So keep that in mind. Write Bedmas down. Check off things, cross them off if you don't have to do them, and make your way through this step, doing your addition and subtraction last. Okay, next one, we have Bedmas. So there's no brackets, we have to do exponents. 2 cubed is 8. Subtract. Remember this 5, it only doesn't go to the negative, it's just the number in front. So I'm going to have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That's 2 5 times, so that would be 32. So then I would have done, there's no brackets, I just did exponents. There's no division, there's no multiplication, there's no addition, and now I can do the subtraction, which is negative 24. Lastly, I have to do brackets first. So 6 plus 2 is 8 squared, and then times that by 4. So I do the brackets. Then I'm going to do exponents. 8 squared is 64, and there's a 4. So is the answer 644? Nope, because this is being times. So I have to do 64 times 4. Now I actually don't know what that is, so I'll write that out. 4 times 4 is 16. 6 times 4 is 24, plus the 1 is 25. So it's 256. So I'll zoom out here so you can see all of the questions. Of course, the answer key is online as well. And we are almost done. We just got a few more left. Just make sure that you follow Bedmas for all of these simplification questions.